Hey, it's Nathan Selove from Okra Films with another edition of Autism Actually Speaking. Hey everyone, we have another interview here today. I have our special guest, the magnificent Nathaniel Bandy.
What's up?
And he actually lives near me, so we didn't have to do one of those Skype interviews that have really bad sound quality. Mm-hmm. So how you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing quite well.
All right, so how old were you when you first got diagnosed?
I was about 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah. So what was your initial reaction like? This is a beast. This is going to kill me, or like what did you think?
Well, at the time, I really didn't have much of a reaction to it. I remember when the doctors told me he was explaining what people typically have with Asperger's. He asked if I wanted to take medicine or anything, but at the time I said no. I don't really want to do that because he was offering that. So. Really not much changed. I know my mom she was like reading a lot of books about autistic people and about people with Aspie, but I didn't really change my mindset too much. I think more when I met you was when I really started to think about like how I really was autistic in certain ways.
Yeah. So you're a pretty successful YouTuber. You make videos about video games. And you do a lot of research-based videos. So would you say that autism has helped you with that? Has helped you with that sort of hyper-focus?
Yeah, I would say in some aspects it absolutely has helped me. Everyone that's autistic, in case you don't know, they have kind of different symptoms. One of the biggest things with me is I can focus on something for an extremely long time. And when I'm making YouTube content, it's extremely important that you're constantly working. That's just kind of how the job works. So since I have Aspie's, actually just 2 nights ago, I was up until I think 3:30 in the morning working on videos, and I had already worked about 8 to 10 hours. I didn't think of it as work. I just thought it was fun. Yeah. And most people aren't going to stay up that late to edit videos, but I think it's definitely an advantage for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've really excelled to the point where you're making a living off of this.
Yeah.
So do you think that is in your case an isolated incident of an autistic being able to find a way of utilizing the conditions that come with Asperger's to benefit themselves in real life?
I think in a way that is partially true. I do know when I did first start YouTube, it was always kind of on my own. And the farther I've gotten along, I have started to work with others because it is important, just to have the real life skills to be able to collaborate and work with others. There's been a lot of projects, especially in the past. We worked all the time on videos in the past. I can agree with that.
Yeah. So, would you say that there's any ways that autism has made you struggle in your line of work?
In some ways. I do think sometimes when I'm trying to communicate with others that I want to work with, I don't do a very good job doing that. That's really the only disadvantage that I can think of. I think for the most part it's just a huge advantage just to be able to really focus, and I'm already passionate about what I'm doing to begin with, so it only helps that I have the ability to be able to focus on something for a really long time.
So, what advice would you give to other autistics within the audience for how they can basically excel in their field, or excel in a field, or find a way of expressing their interests in a way that brings them into success?
I guess probably the first step is to realize that autism and Asperger's is not going to slow you down. If you believe that, then you will be able to excel. Just really realize what traits you have and just work around it. So just as an example, I've already mentioned this. I can focus on something for a long time, so I use that to my advantage. And depending on whatever your trait is, there might be something else that you can use. So just work with what you have. That's, I guess, the best advice I could give.
Yeah. Do you think there's any tendency or inclination for Aspies to be more interested in video games as opposed to like as opposed to neurotypicals? Because I certainly find that a lot of people that I'm a gamer myself, and when I go on the internet and talk to people, I often find people who are either know they're autistic and say yeah I'm autistic, or they're like or they do things that I'm like, I think you're autistic. I think you got it.
I think in a way that can be true. Now, there's different types of people that play games. I think everyone plays games in some way. There's people that they'll just play phone games and that's it. And then there's people like us that'll spend a lot of time playing one or two games. A lot of the people that I talk to that play games pretty in depth, I don't think they necessarily have autism, but you can always just kind of tell, like if someone's like really, really into something. Like as an example, there's a speedrunning community that's pretty popular on Twitch. And don't know what it is. Basically, people speedrun video games. I do that myself. I speedrun Super Mario 64. Basically, everyone that speedruns is autistic because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, just trying to improve your times. I mean, I'm sure there are some speedrunners that aren't autistic, but a large majority of them definitely are, just as an example.
Yeah.
So most normal people will not do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I definitely I would definitely agree with that. Well, I that's all I had to talk to you about. Cool. So thank you so much for joining us. And for everybody, if you have any questions or topics you'd like addressed, please leave them in the comments below or message me on my Facebook, also linked below. And remember,
if you speedrun video games,
you might be autistic.
Just might be.